Sonny TV Arsenal, we're live. Oh, and here he is, man of the moment. Let me kick off David Lewis. Bruv, you come in so late and you was like a bandman when you rushed off to go for a shit halfway through a
game. Can you hear me all right, yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly, mate.
Are we live right now? Or
we are live, mate. We are live. We're like London buses, mate. When them buses are on time, they're on time.
I tell you one thing, mate. I'm no good bus. I am always late. My time management is probably one of the worst things going right now.
Mate, you know what? Sonny TV Arsenal is like Arsenal Football Club, mate. We're above any YouTuber or footballers or whoever. It's all about the channel. No, anyway, I'm only winding you up. But Matt, you know what? There's a guy in the comments, right? Who started crying already, right? Because we've used the name All Guns Blazing, because it's all guns blazing at Arsenal at the moment. Anything can happen, right?
Because, mate, it's honestly mad right now. Like the amount of rumors and transfer things that are coming out of the club, and Willian's supposedly going to sign, and everything that's going on is like, I feel optimistic and so positive right now for the future under the guidance of Mikel Arteta. Just as long as he's financially backed, the future's going to be good, man. I'll say that now.
Exactly. So it's got nothing to do with any other channel or any other podcast. It's because Raul he's got his gun cocked at the moment, right? He's ready to take shots, right? And for that guy who's still crying round about the name, I'm gonna drop these Arsenal Sonny TV box. Don't let the door hit you on the way out, because you know what? YouTube is all about picking the best people from YouTube and working with them and growing yourself, learning about the channel, learning about what you could do, learning about the other person, and to do collabs and make both help grow each other's platform. I see something, right? I've been following Matt for quite a while. Matt, I say something, mate. You go along nice and quietly, bruv, right? Like your hybrid. But I said when that shit hits you, mate, at 12 o'clock at night, if you're pissed, you just come out the pub. You're gone. You're like an assassin, Matt. Tell everyone about that brilliant channel you got, mate. And where can I find you? And you need up to 16,000 subs, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, not too far from 16,000. I think I'm on 15,000. I hit 15.7k today. Honestly, the support is mad. If any of you guys from my channel are in the live chat right now, I appreciate that massively. It's sort of been, I've been on YouTube now for almost like 5 years, almost from 2015, started out doing so many different things. And it was in 2019, so last summer, I was coming off of, remember AFTV Young Guns? I was on there from about 2017. Then in the end, I just thought, I'm just going to kind of go and do my own thing and, talk about Arsenal, because I loved how you can talk about a club that all of us support, all of us follow, and I say all the time, it's this emotional roller coaster up and down. And, it's just a way to put out your opinion that people then listen to, and also everyone else's opinion as well in the comments. So last summer, I started uploading consistently and videos started to do quite well. And then from there, it's been ready. And now I'm focusing on a sort of a full-time basis, just trying to put out content, as well as I've got a company that I build myself, which is all about media production and marketing and promotional material like that. So it's kind of the two go in together quite well, if that makes sense. So ultimately, in terms of the future, I just want to create, some of the highest quality, insightful Arsenal content, expressing an opinion from a fan's view. And I've got some interesting video ideas coming up very soon. To be honest with you, I'm going. I think next Saturday I'm going to be at the Emirates at about 3 o'clock in the morning. Just a interesting little video is going to be going on there. But yeah, it's okay. A lot of people obviously are doing this thing now. So it's just I want to take it to that next level.
And I'm sure you'll get there, Matt, because I'll say something. Our channels, do you know what? It's when excellence meets precision, right? Right?
Yeah.
Excellence has just met precision, right? And both of us have got them traits, right? But we could both put a string together totally differently, right? I'm all about raw reaction, right? I'm all about raw reaction.
So all my videos are like, they're not scripted or anything like that.
Yeah.
Some videos, obviously, I've got a base plan of what it is I'm going to talk about and stuff like that, but not
No,
word for word.
you need to have an agenda of what you're going to come up with. But no, I'm not saying that. But what I mean, I'm all about passion. I get angry, and I just can't detach that from myself, right? But with your channel, what I enjoy about your channel, Matt, you don't really let personal opinion come into it. You state the facts and you leave it at the facts. You know?
Yeah, it's literally, I'm just, at the end of the day, mate, I'm just, supporting the club that I love and expressing an opinion, really, and sort of what you see is sort of what you say, and expressing it in my form of an opinion, if that makes sense.
And the name of the channel is Matt Robinson's Football, isn't it?
Yeah, I changed the channel a few months ago. I may change it again soon, but it's more I'm gonna have sort of the football avenue of talking about that, and then I've also got in a couple of months' time, I'm probably going to be starting Matt Robinson vlogs, which will be real life content and everything like that. Because away from football, I think I'm quite a relatable person. I can talk for hours about anything and everything. So I think I want to sort of try different avenues and stuff like that. So, at the end of the day, I'm just an 18-year-old kid, if you will, just trying out a couple of things, and the Arsenal avenue is where it's at right now.
Well, I've got a great idea for you, Matt. Right? As you know, I'm probably about 25 times older than you, right? Right. So I know a lot of people. Some of them are dinosaurs, right? I do know a lot of people. So you're gonna have Matt Robinson's vlogs. You're gonna have Matt Robinson's football, right? Yeah. I'll start a new line of children's books for you, Matt. Right? Matt Robinson goes to bed. Matt Robinson has breakfast. Matt Robinson goes football. Right? And we'll go to Dragons Den, Matt. Right? I know Theo is very well, and also Tuka Sullivan very well, right? And this could be a start of a new Matt Robinson range. We could have Matt Robinson drinks. We could have everything.
It's well, my actual pattern itself. Well, some days I'm going to bed at 6 p.m. or 6 a.m. waking up at 6 p.m. Other days I'm waking up at 6 a.m. and going to bed at 10 a.m. Honestly, mate, my pattern is all over the place, and it's sort of, I just try and, sleep is inconvenient. I'll be honest with you, mate. I've just got so many different things I'm trying to fit in right now. And yeah, that's why sometimes, when I'm replying to your messages, I'm either replying to you at 5 a.m. or 9 a.m. when I'm just waking up or going to bed. You know what I mean? It's one or the other. But yes, I'm looking forward to the future, to be honest, and sort of see where things go and how it goes, if that makes sense.
You know what? Your future, Matt, it's as rosy as Arsenal's, right? Because it's wherever you want to take it, right? And that's where Arsenal is. I just want to shout out a few people in the comments, because obviously our bread and butter of the comments, and it's basically everyone in the comments are like family to me. So Arsenal Inside Out group is Facebook group. We're affiliated to Sierra Leone. Big up all of yourselves. They're going on social. We're going live there for the first time. Big up to all yourselves as well. Sonny TV Arsenal Facebook page. We're going live there as well, and also on YouTube. So everyone involved, please do me a little favour. Please pay it forward and share it. That's the best way to help the channel. And while you're doing that, please go and hit the like button and hit the subscribe button as well. You know what? It's embarrassing. Matt is a lot younger than me. He's got more subscribers, and I've got less time to I've got less time to catch him up in. So I'm a lot older than him. Right? I need help. I need help. So let's check out a few people get to the Arsenal content. Thunder and Joy. Big up yourself, mate. Mr. Bungle, I love you, Mr. Bungle. Do you know what? Hong Kong, we're going to miss you. I won't call it Hong Kong food, mate, after that comment. Monsieur, how are you, my friend? Nice to see you. Guys, let me just remind you as well, right? Sonny TV Arsenal, the only channel where any football fan can come on the podcast. No matter how many followers and subscribers you've got, or even if you are on social media at all. You know, this is where you could be a YouTuber, right? Get yourself out there. Let's go to Arsenal content. You know what? It's all about the moment. William, Matt. You know what? You know your football really well, Matt. Matt, I saw something on I was trying to Google you earlier, right? You know, you do that the 5 minute last bit of preparation you do, right?
Yeah.
Did you used to play football? Or was that not you?
No, that's some. It's whenever you search my name into YouTube, there's some other guy that used to play for Luton 7 years ago. And the amount of people have said, like, oh, people have said to me, oh, is that your brother or your cousin or something like that? But I used to play football, like, when I was young, but the classic sort of knee injury happened. And do you know, it's something called like Osgood Schlatter, something like that. It's basically so you've got your kneecap and then a bone grows underneath, but it grows out that way. And that basically went off into 4 different pieces. And I had an X-ray on it when I was playing football, and this was back in like 2014. And basically they thought I'd broken my leg playing football. And then in the X-ray, they found all these problems in my knee. And from then it was sort of playing actual football, say on a Sunday league level. You know, I miss doing it. I've only, so I just couldn't do it just because of that. So no, I've not ever played at a half decent level. So
no, what
in the end, just resorted to.
Matt, what you should have done, you should have been playing in church league at Acton Marshall, mate, because they don't kick you from the knee, they kick you from the chest upwards.
So I'm not from London area, man. Like I live about an hour and 20 minutes away. Sort of when I drive into London now, it's about an hour and 20. It all depends where you're going, really.
Bloody hell, that was fast. All of a sudden we was here, and then next minute was taken on the transfer update. Matt, you know football, mate. You know football as good as any of us. What position can you see Willian playing, and what impact can you see making on Arsenal? Because there is suggestions saying that he's not going to be a winger.
Yeah, no, I spoke about this in yesterday's video, and I think one of the best things that could happen with Arsenal signing Willian is he's a versatile player. You know, at the end of the day, you can play multiple positions. You can play on the left, you can play on the right. You can also play through the middle. With Ozil's future looking but confirmed now that he may well leave the club this summer. I don't know if you've seen the latest news. He's in Turkey and was it Istanbul's president or something like that? And people are now just jumping on a bandwagon that he's going to be going out to Turkey this summer. But obviously we'll see. But it's evident that Ozil's future at Arsenal is done now. You know, the relationship between Arsenal and Ozil is finally coming to an end, I guess you could say. So I think in terms of having Willian, we lack creativity in the final third. You know, they're a type of player who can join the midfield with the front three creatively. You know, at the moment, you've got Aubameyang who can score goals for fun. You know, we're aware of that, right? But at the end of the day, you need someone who's going to be able to create Aubameyang in the front three, these chances. And that's what Willian could do if he's playing through the middle in sort of a number 10 role. On top of that, you can also have them interchanging. You know, Willian can play through the middle. You could say have Aubameyang drop out to the left-hand side. You can have Pepe on the right. And realistically, it's having that front three that can operate so well and work well together. You know, look at even when we had Ozil and Sanchez, how they linked up well together. You know, when you have players who understand each other, they complement each other and they help each other out in a whole new level. You know, so I think that's what Willian could offer us. But also, I think on the pitch as well, the experience for young players. You hear Christian Pulisic, he's spoken highly of him, saying, you know, he's helped him settle into England. Of course, Pulisic is a young player, a great player as well. You know, I'm not going to sit here and, you know, just not give the credit where it's due. I think Pulisic is going to be a great player in the Premier League, and you've seen the signs that are there with the likes of Nelson. You could even say Pepe as well, still settling into England. Emil Smith-Rowe, he can play on the wing as well. You've got all these young groups of players, and Saka as well, who can play on the wing. You've got this young group of players who need someone to look up to, who's done it in the Premier League, who has that experience. So I think on the pitch, he can offer a lot, creativity-wise, and off the pitch as well. He can help, you know, in the dressing room. He's going to be a good character to have, I think.
Yeah, especially it's quite quick as well, and the quickest one can get the balloons for the party. But anyway, I'm going to come on about the interchanging forward line. I just want to shout out his birthday. Sonny, it's my son Aaron's birthday today. 2 years, mate. Well, appreciate a mention. Aaron, happy birthday, my friend. Sonny TV Arsenal member. Well, we're not members, but you're part of the channel. And you know what? I hope one day you come on and either play for Arsenal or you can host this one for me. Happy birthday, my friend. Aaron, we love you, mate. That was really sweet, that was. Anyway, right, let's talk about Arsenal in this interchangeable forward line. Because all season, you actually touched on saying that inadvertently, I've been saying, all season I've been saying Pepe should be in the hole, right? Or playing off the front man. Because for me,
Yeah.
Pepe, even though his stats ain't that bad, it's still like one of them cars when the trial car when the testing crashes. At the end of the day, it still crashed. Yeah, it ain't been that great for me. Not for 72
I
million
think
pounds.
the thing with Pepe, right, is the price tag of £72 million and the expectations that come with that in football. You're expecting a player to come in, be your best player, and I think we've kind of been looking for someone who's on the wing, similar to what Alexis Sanchez was like in that first season at the club when he was just unstoppable.
We're desperate as a football club so that we're attaching onto anything, mate. That's why we want anything more.
Yeah, it's like look at even the expectations this season going into the new season for William Saliba.
Yeah, that's right.
The expectations are that this teenage defender is going to come in and fix all of our defensive problems.
Mate, he's already won the Ballon d'Or, mate. There's no point in him filming money, really.
I'm not saying William Saliba is not going to be a good defender or anything like that, because I'm really optimistic that he will fulfill his potential at Arsenal and become a great defender. But you can't have these expectations of immediate fixing and immediate changes. It's a process. We just have to come to the realization now. Every single Arsenal fan, we're in about a 5-year process right now. And if we get decisions right from now, in 5 years' time, maybe a challenge for the league title could happen. But, oh man, as long as we can start getting towards the top 4 again, I think we might start to be a little bit happy. But the thing is, just annoying as Arsenal fans. How many years ago was it now? We were moaning about top 4. Oh, this isn't good enough. Now, how many seasons now in a row have we not?
Yeah, but let's not get twisted. It wasn't good enough, and now it's just even worse. It still wasn't good enough, mate. It's just worse now.
I think the problem with Arsenal right now is there's a lot of problems, top to bottom, but it's not going to be an overnight fix. It's not just going to be fixed across one transfer window. That's just a fact.
It's not, mate. But if you went and bought a house, what needed doing up, mate, right? We'll go one room at a time, mate. We'll go one room at a time and start doing it up. We'll start getting the plan. We'll do it upstairs and we'll come downstairs. You've got to have a plan of what you're going to do. Speaking of Arsenal forward line with how Willian's going to sit in. Listen, you're speaking about groups and all and this that and the other, and it's going to be like a group, right? It's going to be like a group orgy, right? Ron Jeremy, right? Ron Jeremy, the great Ron Jeremy, right? If he was in Arsenal front 3, I'll guarantee you one thing: his leg would not be scraping on Lacazette's leg, and his hair won't be touching Aubameyang's back, right? They're fluid; they don't touch each other, right? So listen, Arsenal front 3, Pepe, right? This might be a better way to relate to you than a manager of waving his head. Go and watch some films, mate, and it might work on actually bringing the ball with you when you go for a run, mate. Because half the time you leave the ball behind, right?
Yeah, that's the thing I think with Pepe, he just needs to go back to the basics. And I get if you're a player that's got a bit of flair about you, and you can take players on to get past them in a way that is smooth and everything like that. But I don't know, man. You've just got to play football to the basics when things aren't going well on and off the pitch as it is. You know what I mean? We need to just strip it back to the basics, like Arteta did when he first came in. Remember that training video where I can't remember who it was. They were doing some form of trying to just mug a player off, some form of flick or something.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Why are you doing this? There's no need. Just go back to the basics." I think once you get the basics right again, any level of football, you play the basics right, results start to go your way.
You know what, though? If I was a winger, especially a winger or in a forward line, right? And when we've got the ability, snake hips like Pepe, right? His hips are going one way, his back's going another way, and his head's going the other way. He's one of them things. The geezer ain't got a spine, I don't think. If you weren't playing football, they should stick him in a fun fair because he gets turned. He's extortionist. But if I was Pepe, one thing I'll do if I was Pepe, right? I wouldn't be looking for the pass for Aubameyang. I wouldn't be looking for the pass for Lacazette. So what I'll do? I'll twist my man up 25 times and then pass it, right? Because he has got the ability to do it. And he's a player.
He's got the ability to do it, but he tries to beat his man twice. I think it was against Manchester United on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve when we played them in the 2-0 win. I think it was Pepe against Luke Shaw. And throughout the whole game, he had Luke Shaw on the ropes. He was leaving him, he was leaving him for absolute dead, right? Then there was a couple of times he would beat his man once and then try and beat his man again. And it's like, there's no need for it. Beat your man once, progress the play, go forward. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't know. I think Pepe will come good, over time. I think it's also, this season as well, look at all the changes that have happened at the club. Unai Emery's been in charge, Freddie Ljungberg was in charge for a period of time, now Mikel Arteta's in charge as well. Now there's been a bit of consistency in terms of the management. You're seeing Pepe play well.
You know what? They've also got to think out of the box, right? You don't need to pay Arteta £6 million a year to coach Pepe. You know what I'll do? I'll go Argos, bruv. Right? £19.99. I'll get one of them footballs with a string on it. Right? He can't lose it. Stick him in the garden. Stick him in the garden during pandemic. That's it. Problem solved. Pandemic over. I'll tell you, listen, back in the day, we used to play football in our flats, mate, right? With a tennis ball, right? When it comes to playing for the school team, we was like Brazil. Honestly, we was like Brazil.
Yeah.
We had yellow socks on. So it looks like to me, guys in the comments, it looks like to me, Willian is going to be playing predominantly off the front, and it means our other little mate, Lacazette, it could be the end of him.
Yeah, man. Would you class Lacazette as a successful player at the club?
Yeah, he's been successful as Francis Jeffers, in my opinion. Great striker.
The thing is, the way I look at it, right, is we were crying out for two strikers, world-class strikers. We get Lacazette, we get Aubameyang a few months later. We've not made the top four once.
We was also going to get a defender as well at the time.
Yes, we need defenders, and basically, I think the way to sum it up at Arsenal, we've got just from the defense to the attack, it's just a major imbalance. And if it was balanced, say the defense was strong, the midfield was strong, and then the front three have as well. The front three, on an individual level, the likes of Aubameyang and Lacazette would be, they would be getting the credit to their name because of how well the team's playing. It's like if you put them in, say, another top four side or a top six side, they're going to get more credit and more respect on their name for what they're doing. Where in an Arsenal side right now, you can go and score 2 goals against, Palace. You can go and score 2 goals against whoever. But the defense is always going to be the talking point of that game because of how weak and how, just comedic it can be sometimes. It's 1 minute we defend well, and then I always say it on my channel, there's like this switch in Mustafi's head. Yeah. He can play so well at the back and look so comfortable, and then all of a sudden it's like you just turn this switch off and a man can get past him. So
you know what? If we're describing Lacazette as a footballer, like he's left Arsenal now, Atletico Madrid are after him, and he's turned around and said, you know what? I'm going to go and fight in the UFC, right? He's decided to have a career change. He wants to go and fight in the UFC instead. You know what? So, funny as it happens, I'm actually reading out the cards that day. I wouldn't be describing Lacazette as a striker, mate. I'll describe Lacazette when he comes out. Someone who gives up his back very easily, and all he does,
you know what I think it is.
He has his back to a goal and getting cost us goals time and time again.
You know what I think it is with Lacazette right now is I think there's a lot of times when he doesn't really get the credit that he deserves, but there's also times where he doesn't do himself any favors. I think the biggest problem with Lacazette right now is all the personal problems he has off of the pitch. Did you read the story about what's happening with his wife?
No.
How he was seeing another woman. He was cheating on his wife with another woman. The woman he was seeing behind his wife's back was going to like the team dinners and everything like that. And I think at one point they even went away on holiday or something together. So it's like you can just see his head has not been in it for so long now.
Well, his head's been in somewhere.
At the end of the day, the players are human. They've got emotions. Do you know what I mean? They're not going to... If you've got loads of stuff going on in your life, it can affect your workflow. But at the end of the day, playing for Arsenal, that's their job. That's their workflow as such. I think that's also been maybe what's really affected Lacazette this season. His form has been poor. Goes without saying.
Mate, for being a cheating bastard in your marriage, it's not an excuse for playing shit for Arsenal, is it?
Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, mate,
you can't use that as defence, Matt. No, I'm not having that, mate.
Nice, but at the end of the day, right, all I'm saying is they are human. They're players. And if your head's not with it, you're not going to perform on the pitch. It's as simple as that.
Well, it's obviously performing for the other woman. She's going for team dinners as well in the holidays.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I don't know like it's moving like that, but yeah, it's kind of mad.
You know what? I say something like even in the cup final, that was moving like he's tired, mate. Yeah, he's actually moving like he's tired.
Yeah, he looks. I don't know. I don't know, man. He looks as if.
Do you know what?
Something needs to change.
You know what? If you're on £200 a week, right, and your wife's going to take a shitload of money off you, that bird must be good fuck, I'm telling you, because it is knackered, right? Maybe they should stick her up front. But anyway, for me, reasonable price of Lacazette. Would you swap me for I mean, these players, Matt, I know you don't put anyone down, mate, right? Even if it was UFC. If it was UFC, mate, you have to do £1,000 and pound, you put him down, mate, and you give him his hand before the counter down, trying to get him up again. You're not a guy. Matt, Guendouzi, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Mesut Ozil, and Lacazette are four people who are coming under the most scrutiny at the moment to go, right? Out of those four, is there a case to keep any of them, and would you keep any of them? And Mustafi, chuck Mustafi in as well.
No, I think tell all of them.
Do you know what? Chuck Socrates in as well. Carlton, good enough. Chuck them in as well.
Yeah, I think all those players, I think their time is respectfully up at the club now. I would say I think Mustafi, simply because he's started to perform quite well right now, so he's going to hold a bit of value for you to generate some funds for it, towards the transfer budget. I think Lacazette, it's inevitable that he might go this summer, and I think as long as we can keep hold of Aubameyang, that's I think what matters, because then I think you're going to have Eddie Nketiah as well, who's showing good signs, and I think you can see he's learning from Aubameyang. You've got Martinelli as well, so you're going to have some backup in that striker role. I know Martinelli can play on the wing as well. I think Ainsley Maitland-Niles, I think you can cash in on him now, because you're not going to keep Bellerin, Cedric, and Ainsley to play at right back. So I think it's going to be the better Ainsley Maitland-Niles to go this summer. And Guendouzi, I think he's a great footballer, such a talented player with so much potential, but his attitude stinks. And it's been a problem his whole career. And if there's going to be something that could stop him making it to the level where he has the potential to get to, it could well be his attitude. I get, some players, legends of the game, they have an attitude, but there's a time and a place.
Who's that, Guendouzi?
Yeah, there's a time and a place for that.
Mate, Guendouzi is a crossfire pigeon, bro. He goes around in circles.
Nah, he's a good player, man. Look at how he carries the ball forward, and the passion he's got as well to play the game.
Where's he carry it
to? Come on, man. Earlier this season, Guendouzi was. Arsenal fans loved him at the start of the season. Arsenal fans were loving everything he was saying.
They love the 55 people got made redundant. They don't even know him. They love everything.
No, I think Guendouzi is just the fact that he's a player that's got potential. There's no there's no reason behind that. He's gone from when he first signed for us, he played almost every single game in his first season at the club as a teenager. He's got potential and he can make it to that highest level, but he needs to be put in his place. He needs a bit of self-discipline.
Listen,
and that's just how it is.
Sometimes, mate, everyone's got a level, yeah. Everyone's got a level. You can not be afraid of heights. All of a sudden, you're going up this ladder and you get to that step where you think, "Fuck no, this is too high now." Maybe he has reached his level. Maybe he's not good enough.
I think you know what it is. I think with Guendouzi, he's got an attitude problem, but he's also playing for Arsenal. He's living in London. He's living a somewhat fortunate life, and I think it's all the money and the lifestyle has also got to his head. I think.
Yeah, probably. Do you know what he needs? He either needs to slap around the head or he needs to get married.
Yeah,
but he
needs a woman to sort him out.
Yeah, but he needs to get married to a woman who's going to kick his arse though. Not like Lacazette's missus.
Yeah, he needs sort of that type of life is going to make him into a better man. Make him a better person, which I think is could happen, might happen, might not, but. Yeah, we'll see, man. I think in terms of those players who you mentioned to sell, I think a lot of them, their time at the club is respectfully done now. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, bruv, Blockbuster shut down, mate. I still had the money for their video tapes, bruv. their time at the club was over a long time ago, mate. Blockbuster shut and I still had the tapes, mate. You know, shame I got the video recorded playing. So if anyone wants any VHS video tapes, just let me know. No, I ain't joking. But, I mean, going to this, you know, out of all the players that have been mentioned, the players coming in, the Coutinho's, if we get him, you know, let's talk about they want it compulsory to buy at 70 million. I don't know about that, whether it's actually worth that. Thomas Partey, obviously it's not going to be up.
Thomas Partey would be such a good signing.
It's not going to be up Meccano because he's obviously signed his contract. He's off on I think like Messi will to get more money. Who is the most important player? In your opinion, what is the most important position? What needs to be filled? And who's that man?
It's Arsenal right now. I would say that he's between a centre back and a defender. A centre back and a defender, a centre back and a midfielder.
I think it's a midfielder, honestly.
I think because we need the balance in the midfield. We need someone who, again, I mentioned earlier, you know, players complement each other. You need someone who can complement Granit Xhaka. Or, you know, I think it's inevitable that Granit Xhaka is going to be staying at the club now. You know, I think credit to him where it's due. The professionalism to turn it around and, you know, to what he's been able to do after what, you know, it looked inevitable that he was going to leave the club this year. In like the January transfer window. But, yeah, man, I think we need it's a midfielder that's probably the most vital place that we need to sign someone.
Do you know what?
Again, it's just as important we sign a centre back. It's so important. It's two of our biggest problems.
I'll say something, right? I love having you on the channel and also your gal, right? You know what? There's certain things that you say, and it feeds me, mate. It feeds this demon in me, right? There's certain things that you say, right? And what I've taken from that is, right, is you said you need certain people to compliment Granit Xhaka. You know what I was going to say to you for that? I would say a liar.
Yeah.
I was going to say a liar. The only person who will compliment Granit Xhaka is a liar for me, right? But you just did, right? But for me, it's not good enough for Arsenal, in my opinion.
Under Mikel Arteta, mate, you have to give the credit where it's due. Under Mikel Arteta, mate, the professionalism, the character that you've shown to turn everything around. You know, this is someone who the Arsenal fans despise. He physically told the Arsenal fans where to go. Right? After everything that happened against Crystal Palace almost a year ago, that for players, that's them done. But he's turned this around. Right? He's turned this around.
The Arsenal fans are a forgiving, loyal bunch, right? I think he tells us to fuck off every day because we'll tell him to fuck off back, right? It's all about performances.
I rate his performances now. You look at what happens when he isn't in the side right now. We kind of struggle, you know, because again our midfielder isn't great right now. I think Granit Xhaka is vital to this Arsenal midfield for at least another year, because if we get rid of Granit Xhaka now and say we don't sign a midfielder or we only sign one midfielder, we're still going to have this imbalance in the midfield. And then everyone's going to just be like, oh, we've signed this player and now it's not working. And, you know, we just need a moment of positivity and a bit of optimism going forward.
No, I don't know. Do you know what it is? You know, you said you need that special cog, yeah? Is that a date pacemaker, mate? Is that a date pacemaker? Right? I think technology has moved on and the midfielder's still coughing, right? On my heart. Because it's not that article it's not that finished article that we need, right? That can spread the ball quickly, who could turn, who's quick, he's got a trick in him. He's not that guy. You know, he looks like Superman after the accident, bruv. You know, after he fell off the horse. His guy's got no. He can't move. He can't move.
He does make a lot of mistakes, but I also think he's someone who is playing well right now. In the current team, in the current group of players that we've got under Mikel Arteta, he's playing well. I believe under a new manager at any club, players get another opportunity to prove themselves. Why should they be playing for the club? And I think some players who looked inevitable that they were going to leave the club, I think they've done really well with this new chance under Arteta. I think Granit Xhaka is one of them. If shit is your level,
then it's very easy to go up, isn't it? Right? If shit's your level, right? Because basically we're shit. We've been shit.
We've massively underachieved.
You know, underachieved shit, no good. You know, call it whatever you want. It all comes out the same thing, right? You know, he's improved. Has our midfield improved? No, not really.
Yeah, I don't know. You can also say that Danny Ceballos is playing well, and the midfielders start to look a little bit more strong.
I'm going to play devil's
In
advocate with you.
parts.
Matt, I'm going to play devil's advocate with you, Matt, because as far as I'm concerned, this is your podcast to highlight why they're doing so well, right? So I agree with some of the points you make, but I'm playing devil's advocate. So I'm being unnecessarily harsh on you, but I don't believe everything I'm saying, right?
Mhm.
So don't come and say, I'm too hard on you. Danny Ceballos has only had 3 good games all season.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. I'm not going to sit there and say Danny Ceballos has been an amazing loan signing and everything like that. He's had moments of inconsistency. He's had moments of looking at him thinking is all you do is just spin round in a little circle and do all these little turns.
Moments of inconsistency. 3 games in the season. He's been in a coma.
He's since the return of the Premier League. I think Danny Ceballos. He's one of the first teams in the, one of the first names in the team sheet.
After COVID, after the return, I think he's been brilliant.
Yeah, and that's what we're currently looking at.
And so is Granit Xhaka, by the way. So Granit Xhaka in the cup final, the holes that geezer was filling. He was like one of them builders on speed, mate. The quicker the hole went there, he was plugging the gap. He was brilliant that day.
I think the thing is as well, right? With the current situation with Arsenal, you've got Mikel Arteta trying to implement his own ideas, and you've got to give the credit to Mikel Arteta as well for how well he's kind of got this. It's like with how he's got this team playing, right? It's no hidden fact that this is a very average Arsenal team. There's a lot of average players in here that shouldn't actually be playing at this level. You know, there's players that you look at and think, how are you physically a professional footballer?
Do you know what, Matt?
Right?
Mr. Positive. Who are they, mate? I want you to name and shame.
What players who I think you can question how...
Name and shame and then push them over the bridge, bruv. Who are they?
Nah, man, I hate talking down. I hate talking down on my own club's players.
Matt, this is name and shame. You've just said there's a lot of them. Put your balls on the line, mate. Tell us who they are.
Most of our defenders.
Don't be one of them people who go up to the police, say, I'll be a witness, and then when the court date comes, right, you think, nah, I can't do that.
You back down from it. No, I think realistically, I don't think David Luiz should ever play a Premier League game for Arsenal again. Yes, he signed a new contract with us.
For someone who don't criticise, that was pretty low, that one, Matt.
It's look, all I'm saying is, right, and I've said that on my channel. I think David Luiz, he physically isn't good enough at this level. Yes, I give all the respect and all the credit for the great career that he's had. You know, I'm not going to be one of them who's going to go personally in on David Luiz and everything like that. But in this current moment, the guy is finished.
Well,
look how many mistakes he's made and how many points you could say he's cost us.
At that age, right, and also they both won a cup final. Who was worse, David Luiz or Per Mertesacker?
What, in terms of their time in like the back end of their career?
Yeah, washed up, yeah.
Mate, I know Per Mertesacker was comical at times, right? But the things David Luiz has done this season, or last season, should I say, you've got to question what was the reason to give him a new contract.
Yeah.
You know, and don't get me wrong, fair enough, he's taken a pay cut and it's allowed us to sign Cedric and Mari on a permanent deal. But I think at the end of the day, mate, there's a time and place where you call it quits. You know, it's what's the saying? You die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Mm.
And I think David Luiz has been a great defender, but at the end of the day, we signed him as a player that was not in Frank Lampard's plans anymore. So off you come, mate. Come over to the retirement home, Arsenal FC. Fucking get yourself at home, mate. Ask for whatever wages you want, and we'll sort you out.
Herbert, come on, Herbert. Don't be a Herbert. Come on, Herbert. Bless you, Herbert, right? Thanks for watching the channel. Please subscribe on YouTube, bro, because there's a lot of content you're still missing, right? You could hate on me even more, my bro, but I know some love, though, right? Xhaka is a blessing to our midfield. Well, he's not a blessing, bro. He's really not a blessing. He's sometimes a blessing. His pass backs up, bro. Sometimes a blessing to the opposition. Let's get that right. He might have put holy water on the ball as well, yeah. If you want to go down that route, yeah. Because it ends up in our goal, right? Cost us Champions League football the year before last, right? Sonny that doesn't understand football. Mate, I do understand football, but obviously, if I come on the channel and we repeat everything each other said, it'd be a very boring podcast, wouldn't it? But at least, right, when they're talking, it's dialogue. But you know what? Herbert, my brother, you should come on the podcast as well, my friend. Who was it? Granit Xhaka. Okay. Right, who would your midfield be? Who would your midfield be?
For next season?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think Granit Xhaka's in there. If Danny Ceballos stays, I reckon he's going to be in there.
Do you think he will stay?
Lucas Torreira might be off.
He's got to go. He's got to go, mate. He's got to go.
Lucas Torreira?
Yeah, he's got to go, mate. I called him out ages ago.
I don't know, man. He's also a good midfielder.
Mate, if I was working for customers, mate, I'd be checking in for red, right? For the X-ray for any imperfections in the box. I'll make sure the geezer's gone, bruv. I'll make sure he's gone. I'll tape it down with all the brown tape. I'll make sure he's gone.
Yeah, I guess.
He's not good enough for Arsenal. He's not good. A five-a-side in a small pitch. Yes, but at Arsenal, he ain't got people who play it like he does.
I think again, there's been good signs of Torreira at Arsenal. But then his form just hasn't been the same since Unai Emery tried to almost play him in a number 10 role. I think that shot him in the foot.
No, he wasn't caught on a motorway with his pants down, trying to run after a donkey, was he? You know, he ain't done. He ain't been anything shameful that he ain't been able to recover from. He's just been played out of position for half a season. It's not going to. It shouldn't affect his form going into another season. Come on,
I don't know, man.
At least plays that brittle. He's got tattoos all over his back and his head, saying what a warrior he is. And Unai Emery playing out of position is going to affect his whole life.
But at the end of the day, mate, when a player is playing consistently, that also brings momentum. And the second that momentum stops and that ball stops rolling, your consistency will also fall off.
His consistency spot on is consistently bad.
I think he's a good midfielder, but you know, as I said, we just don't have balance at this club right now in all areas, and we're years away from being back at the top.
Well, I want to put you under pressure as much as I can, Matt. Right? Listen, as a two, right, as a pivot, Xhaka and Torreira, they did have some good games. You know, when they played Liverpool, when we won all at the Emirates. Was a great game they played together. Yeah. We lost it, and a couple of games before that, they had their good games together. We beat Spurs, but you know what? Where Arsenal's biggest failures have been recently, right? Well, not recently, going back last 3 or 4 years. We can't control football. It means we don't win the battle in the midfield, right? We've lost the battle in the midfield. So any pairing that you could think of at the moment, right? None of them are going to win the battle in the midfield. None of them as a pairing.
And the thing is as well, you talk about the battles in the midfield. That's where games are won and lost.
Of course they are.
At the end of the day, and it's like you can see when Arsenal are in a position where we're not winning the game, and say we go 1-0 down, or we find ourselves 2-1 down or something like that, we just disappear into this shell of like I don't even know where the players go. When things start to go wrong. There's no fight, there's no bottle, there's no heart sometimes.
No.
When things are going well, these players can play good football. But when things start going against us, we look like we're in a bit of a ditch sometimes.
And that's when people, I don't want to bring this back to Mesut Ozil, but people only notice Mesut Ozil when the whole team's playing well and the ball is flowing, right?
Yes, and that's the type of player that Ozil is. Ozil is not the player that's going to do something by himself and take the game by the neck, and that's where Arsenal fans get on the back of him.
But used properly, he would have been an important cog, right? Because he can see things happening.
He's a player that has vision like no other.
Yeah,
I'm not going to sit here and be one of the Ozil fanboys.
We're not going to be fanboys. We're not going to be a hater. What is now is someone who's just treading water. He's just treading water.
It's at the end of the day, mate. Footballers, their time comes and goes.
Yeah,
it's a short career that they're in, and it's maybe time that he moves on. But shout out to Jay. I see you on my channel all the time.
Jay,
would I rather have James Rodriguez or Coutinho? Probably Coutinho, to be fair.
But why don't you wear your Arsenal hat and say James Rodriguez? He was a brother-in-law of a Sprinter, right? That's a feather in his cap, right? And also, 25 years ago, he had a World Cup. Right? That's how an Arsenal fan would think.
I don't know. I think Rodriguez is a good player, but personally, I would I would take Coutinho. I think that on a loan deal could be a very good signing. You know.
You know what? I should say it could be a sickest team of FIFA going though. Right? Like you can have Coutinho, you can have Willian, you can murder going forward. But are they coming back the other way? That's the question.
Yeah, it's a murder scene going forward, but then also murder scene at our end at defence. Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens this transfer window. I'll be honest with you. Like, if we make movement in the transfer market for a few defenders, and Arteta is financially backed, and we can sign a few other players as well who have potential to develop forward, and it's going to help us in terms of the future plan going in the direction forward. I think, things might be all right for us. You know.
Do you know what? Your best mates, right, are the ones you grew up with, right? The ones you grew up with when you was all skinned together, right? Because when you go out, you all spoke with each other, so you don't feel it. So the point I'm trying to make is the pandemic is the same for every club. Till Man City, Liverpool, and Chelsea decided they want to be like rich kids, right? But basically, everyone's suffering. Everyone's suffering, right? And Arsenal should not lose that as a shield, but they should use it as because the team in Spain, the team in France, everywhere, they're all suffering. So Arsenal should use that as a weapon to go forward. They shouldn't use it as a shield to hide behind that. So we need to go and get our players. We need to go and get our targets.
Yeah, I think it's a weird time right now. On the pitch and off the pitch, it's going to be a weird time. And if Arsenal can recover from it well, and as I said, we make the right decisions in the transfer market and at the club in general, I think we are the matter of maybe 5 years away from challenging again. But as I said, that's with doing everything right. We'll see what happens.
No, 5 years from challenging. Mate, if you go out in the transfer window and buy the best players you can buy, you can challenge it.
Yeah, but you can, but you can't. You can go out there and sign this player, that player, and this player. But at the end of the day, at Arsenal, there's a mental barrier that you can't go out there and sign that fight and that heart out in the transfer market. You can't sign that strong mentality. You can't sign that. But I guess we'll see what happens. I have no idea where Sonny's gone. I think I'm here on my own at the moment, so I'll just read a couple of the comments out.
Do you know what?
I hope you're back.
Mate, I'll do it every week. You know what? There's a button on the side of my mouse. Right? I'll keep hitting it with people and getting off. But you know what?
Fair enough.
If you was on it for them 3 seconds on your own, right? Our subscribers have went up another 10,000. Listen, Arsenal, right? You're forgetting one thing, right, Matt? Arsenal have had a better season now than Man United. They've had a better season than Tottenham. They've had a better season than Liverpool. They've had a better season than Chelsea. We won a trophy, right? I don't care about Champions League. We win the Champions League, we'll get smashed anyway, right? No point. What's the point?
I think Champions League right now, it would only help us in terms of the revenue.
Of course it will, right? And the fact that EastEnders is not on a Wednesday night, or Thursday night, it's not on. But Champions League will get smashed. But Europa League, it's a chance to stop Tottenham from winning the trophy. So I'll take that this season. And I say something just for what?
I don't.
No, I won't take a position.
I don't like this whole, we're in the Europa League. I've seen a few Arsenal fans say, we might stop Tottenham winning a trophy or whatever. Mate, forget about them. They're irrelevant. Forget them.
Mate,
they're not going to do anything. They've got their own problems. There's an Amazon documentary coming out about it. Get your popcorn out and let's focus on us. Let's focus on us getting back to the top. If it's an Arsenal-Tottenham Europa League final, let's go out there and smash them. Focus on it when it comes to it. Let's have bigger targets, bigger aims, bigger optimism, bigger optimistic feeling going into the new season of what we could do. Not obviously to the form of delusion.
I agree with you. I actually agree with you. Right? I'll say something.
Yes.
That game was so important for me personally. I'm just speaking about personally. I would have had a fucking meltdown, mate. I would have probably still been in Southgate now because I wasn't watching the pub in Southgate, right? I would still be in Southgate now, kicking and screaming and crying on the pavement, bro. There'll have been ambulances, there'll have been police fighting.
Yeah,
They would not shift to me.
Obviously, when the North London derby is, when the Premier League fixtures are announced, the North London derby is one of the first fixtures you look for. You look when they're coming to your place. You look when you're going to their place. Right?
Look, did I say
obviously on the day of a North London derby, right? The adrenaline is through the roof, and I love that feeling. And I'm when Arsenal beat Tottenham 4-2 at the Emirates, I had a very good night that night. I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to go into the details on that, but it was a good one. The adrenaline was high. You've beaten your biggest rivals and everything like that. It's just, that adrenaline. I just love derbies in football, but I don't want a derby to be the obsession that only focusing on finishing above Tottenham or something like this. At the end of the day, if we're 10th and they're 8th, I don't want to finish 7th. I want to be finishing top 4. As a fan, I'm sitting there at the end of the season.
No. You want to be challenging. Rephrase it. You was going so well. You want to be challenging.
I want to see my club back at the top, challenging, fighting, and things are going to the wire and things are positive for us.
Yeah.
I want to see that from my club, and I think Mikel Arteta could be the right man to do this as long as he's financially back. I'm optimistic for the future, man.
So am I. I said something, right? While Bill, big up yourself, bro. If I said Arsenal had better than Liverpool, it's either a slip of the tongue or I didn't realise I said that. I definitely did say I don't think I said that.
Arsenal better season than Liverpool, mate. No chance at all. Liverpool this year, credit to them, best team in the country. They've been incredible.
By a country mile. You know what? I do hope the rest of the teams, apart from Spurs, do actually, and that includes Arsenal, obviously, do actually part of a challenge to Liverpool and Man City. It's been a piece of piss.
Yeah, man. I think to be honest, I think with Manchester City, you've got a team that has just had so much money invested into it, and you've got a really good manager behind it, directing those players going forward. With Liverpool, you've had a model that over the last 4 or 5 years or so has built really, really well. They've done excellent transfer business. They've got in money for players that shouldn't even have a value of that high. For example, the likes of Dominic Solanke, Jordan Ibe, they've cashed in on these players and they've put that money into positions where they've needed to sign players. And look how well it's played for them. So I think Liverpool have got a fantastic model there that will be able to challenge naturally because of what Jurgen Klopp has also put in place with this group of players. I think they're going to be challenging. They could even maybe retain the title next season. And the thing I like with Klopp as well is he's a special manager. He keeps a group of players motivated. For example, look at the difference when Liverpool got the Champions League final against Real Madrid and they lost it. They were then in the final the following year. Look at Tottenham when they played Liverpool in that final. Look at Liverpool how they kicked on. They bounced back from it. That pain of losing the Champions League final. Look at what it did to Tottenham. They fell apart. They crumbled. It's just, you've got to give the credit to Liverpool.
I don't want to digress, but Tottenham was never ever going to win that game against Liverpool, right? You know why? Tottenham and Arsenal are just happy to be at the wedding. Right? It doesn't matter if you're sitting at the back. It doesn't matter if you're sitting at the back, right? It doesn't matter if you're sitting at the back. I'm talking about a Turkish wedding now, and you don't get no chicken and you don't get no food, right? And the waiters keep walking past you, missing you. Your table is in the doorway, right? They think you work in the kitchen, right? Where's this happy?
You know what I think it was as well with that Champions League final last season. I think you had such a high expectation going into it because of the drama semi-finals. Throughout that whole tournament, from sort of the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, and the final, there was all these expectations because of the drama in the quarters and the semi. And then it was massive. Oh my God, 2 teams have done really, really well to get into the final.
Expectations. Bro, Tottenham fans are still sitting there wanking on the build-up. They watch the build-up wanking and they turn it off after 30 seconds. Anyway, that's us done.
Yeah, man. Sissoko, wasn't it? Sissoko handball in the first couple of minutes of the game or something.
Bloody idiot. Anyway,
Matt.
I hope this is not the first and last time you're on this channel, mate.
Yeah, man. I'm happy to come on whenever, man.
Mate, there's your key. Come and go as you please, right? Just let me know when you want to come on, right?
I will do, mate.
Let's shout out your channel as well, and where people can find you. Got a shout out your channel, Matt.
So my channel is Sid Robinson Foot. If you just search Matt Robinson, and on YouTube it should come up at the top. My Instagram is at 1 second. I don't even know what my Instagram is, to be honest with you, mate. My Instagram is at mattrobinson.__, and then my Twitter is at Matt Robinson with 3 N's. I think that's what it is anyway. If you search that, it should come up. And anyone follow Instagram in the next sort of hour or so, then I will follow you all back. Big up to all of you for watching this. As I said at the start, to be able to just express an opinion and people be interested in it, then shout out to everyone for that. And and also everyone getting involved in the comments, man. It's kind of crazy, how all of this works. So shout out to all of you. It's love, man.
It's time, yeah. You know what? Privilege to have you on, Matt. You know what? Honestly, I've got his man. I've been chasing after you for a while, man. I've been chasing after you for a while, right? And I want you to come on the channel. The fact that I don't care if it's been a loan signing, Matt. I don't care if it's an obligation to buy. I don't care if it's compulsory, right? I actually come on and you gave me that bit. You gave me that bit of respect, so big up to you for that. And hopefully, we could do quite a bit. We do some bits in the future. Everyone appreciates good people. Guys in the comments, do me a favour. Don't hit that like button, please, and hit your notification bell. And please subscribe and share. And let's get the numbers on this channel out there. And let's get this channel noticed, right? Because for some reason, it's not the people in the public, I'll say it works. People with the most numbers think their dick's bigger than everybody else's. Not necessarily, right? It's an ego thing. But for the smaller channels, it's hard to get bigger when you're doing it without the backing of a major platform. So help us, and we'll do our thing. We'll get you some great content on as well. For me, it's going to be hopefully, Matt. You know what? Just lastly, out of all our targets, Matt, who do you reckon we're going to end up with, mate?
I think realistically, I think Coutinho maybe on loan. Gabriel Magalhaes is his name. I think that could happen. And I think Willian as well. I think of the realistic what could happen. But we'll see what happens, man. It's at the end of the day, as an Arsenal fan, as I said, the roller coaster we go up and down, the emotions running high and low. It's gonna be an interesting one. We're being linked to players left, right, and centre, but we'll see what happens.
Do you know what? Basically, I'll take if you're watching, Raul, Edu, Vinay, Josh, Stan. I'll give you a little spin for free, yeah? I'll give you a little spin for free. If you don't do your shit, yeah? If you don't do your shit and you get us the signings that we need and we're shit next season, just go and give the 55 people you fucked over their jobs back, and I'm sure the Arsenal fans will forgive you. So a bit of spin for you for free. If you want to give me £1 million a year retainer, I'll take it all day long. Sonny TV Arsenal, we're out of here. Subscribe if you hate Tottenham. Subscribe if you hate Tottenham. Sonny TV Arsenal in collaboration with Matt Robinson Football. See you later. Thanks, Matt. Thanks everyone in the comments. Please subscribe, like.